What's going on there, fellow YouTubers? It's Chris from the Msss Anomalies channel. Alright guys, got another cool one for you. I said I'd be doing our moon, as well as another moon. Well, this one here is Saturn's moon, Dione. I guess that's why it's not Dione. I believe it's Dione, the way they pronounce it, or the way they break it down in its normal nomenclature. Anyway, Dione is pretty wild. If you guys have not checked this moon out, this is pretty cool. Again, I believe we're being lied to even about this particular moon. Now, let's have a look at this here. Now, it says these here, and you can read up a whole bunch of these things here about these supposedly chasms on Dione. When you go into this, and I'll just read a little part of this, while not bursting with activity like its system sister Enceladus, the surface of Dione is definitely not boring. Some parts of the surface are covered by linear features called Chasmata, which provide dramatic contrast to the round impact craters that typically cover moons. Makes sense, right? The bright network of fractures on Dione, 698 miles or 1,123 kilometers across, were seen originally at poor resolution in Voyager images and was labeled as wispy terrain. The nature of this terrain was unclear until Cassini showed that they weren't surface deposits of frost, as some had suspected, but rather a pattern of bright icy cliffs among myriad fractures. One possibility is that this stress pattern may be related to Dione's orbit, evolution, and the effect of tidal stresses over time. Now, you can read on this here. It's got a little bit more to it. Not a big deal. The view was acquired at a distance of approximately 68,000 miles and 110,000 kilometers from Dione. Image scale is 2,200 feet or 660 meters per pixel. Okay, so it was Cassini that it was incorporation, blah, blah, blah. You can read all down here. Okay, now, chasm. Let's look up chasm. Chasm is a gorge, an abyss, a canyon, ravine, gully, gulf. You get the idea. Okay, the deep fissure in the earth, in this case, in earth, meaning terrain, rock, or another surface. So to me, it's a gouge in the crust. Well, the actual surface, right? Okay, in a nutshell. All right, let's go to this one here in Wikipedia, and it's got all the information about it, or pretty much all the information that you need to see here. We'll just go down here, and this is what I wanted to read to you too, the icy cliffs. When the Voyager space probe photographed Dione in 1980, it showed what appeared to be wispy features covering its trailing hemisphere. The origin of these features were mysterious, because all that was known was that the material has high albedo, and is thin enough, get this, and is thin enough that it does not obscure the surface features underneath. Well, wait a minute, I'm a little confused about that right off the bat, because if it's a gouge in the ground, why would it show transparent anything? Now, I just read the other page to you, the way they're making it sound, it's a chasm. It's almost like a Grand Canyon of Earth. It's a gouge. What could possibly be transparent about that? I'm a little confused. Maybe you guys can understand that better than I can, but I'm not getting it. One hypothesis was that shortly after its formation, Dione was geologically active in some processes such as cryovolcanism, resurfaced much of its surface, okay, with the streaks forming from eruptions along cracks in Dione's surface that fell back to the surface as snow or ash. Later, after the internal activity and resurfacing ceased, cratering continued primarily on the leading hemisphere and wiped out the streak patterns there. You can read more about this if you like. Here's the original one, I think, that was from the prior spacecraft, because Cassini took the better ones. Okay. So it tells you about the icy surfaces, so on and so on. You can read all on it. This is what I have a problem with. This is pretty cool. Just to give you an idea just how big Dione is, you've got all of the, well, at least the biggest moons. You got Msss, Enceladus, Tethys, Dione, Rhea, Hyperion, Iapetus, and Phoebe. I thought that was Phoebe, but it's not. It's the way they break it down again. It's Phoebe. But anyway, you get the idea how the size of this moon is compared to the other ones named here. Now, I want to show you guys, I think there's something a little bizarre about this. Okay? If we were to do this, now you can go ahead and just click on this picture, and you'll just get the whole photo, and I will give you that in the link. Okay, this is what I find a little interesting. They're saying it's gouges in the ground. Okay? I don't believe that's the case at all. I believe what we're seeing here is another civilization on this moon. Now, I had seen other people's videos where people, these commenters would say, oh, here we go. Now there's more. Now everywhere we look, there's a base. First of all, I have a problem with that word base, alien base. I think military installation. That's what comes to my mind when I see this or hear that. I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's just humanoids or whatever you want to call these alien people. And when I use the term alien, I mean different from us. They're not lying as far as these things being transparent. That is a fact. There's no doubt. But it's layered ground. In other words, they're up and over what look like structures, areas of structures. And I'm going to show you that. I'm not going to do a thing to this photo. And I'm going to just zoom into some. Of course, you go into too much, it will start to break apart. So, but people like these have seen these here. And they said, oh, the UFOs. They're not. They're connected. You can see it trailing. Whatever that is going up and on each side of this is connecting to said piece. Check this stuff out. What about this one here going up and over this crater? It's above the crater. And a lot of times you're going to see these actually have shadows to them. Now, check this stuff out right here. Almost like a square, something on top. You're going to see these areas a whole lot better in a minute. This photo as usual. They're trying to take the depth out of here so you don't see that. But you're going to see this area right here. I'm circling. And I'm going to just show you that real quick because this is just, it'll blow your mind, guys. Check this out. When you look at this, it almost looks like a crater right here. Okay? Right around it. And it looks like there's something going from the top of it. And I'm kind of circling it here with my cursor. Going, and then it goes back down. But look right here. It looks like there's a shadow to it right here. Like you can see this is whiter all the way around. And this has a shadow to it. Kind of puzzling, isn't it? That area, this area here, on this supposed crater, it almost looks like there's something covering something that's underneath this. Or, two possibilities, that or there's half and half of something in this crater. Okay? This one here is even more boggling. Check this one out. You don't see it much right here, but there's like an egg-shaped structure of some sort laying here. Something else that's also looks intelligently made. This whole area appears that way. But again, being 2D, it doesn't look like that. And now I'm going to do this. Let me see if I can see this because, again, they make it really difficult for you to see this. Look at the way these things are actually running. They don't appear. Let me see if I can find another one here. Right here. Another one right here. And there's something these things are riding on top of these wannabe craters. I don't believe they're craters at all. Look at this one here. Look how perfectly round this piece is right here. Perfectly round. Another one. Perfectly round. Things in the middle of it. They're not. They're structures, guys, and they've been lying to us. You know, again, people are like, well, you know, here we go with the bases on every darn moon we look at or every planet. Okay, how about taking this approach instead? Maybe because we've been lied to about Mars, why is it a far-fetched leap to believe that we're being lied to on a giant scale? And that's what people try to dismiss this. You can't dismiss it if there's features in this. Again, here's another one of these things. Check this out. See these on the lower left? They look like an egg kind of shape. Well, there's another one right here. And there's another one right here, only not completely round. Another one here. They're not craters, guys. These are something sticking out. And you're going to see this a whole lot better because, again, look at the way these things look. It's 2D. They've been taking information out. Let's jump to Photoshop, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. You have to get this to get it to pop into 3D. And I take two different views of this. One is the aerial view, and the one is like to call like a lower level view, as I like to call it. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into this. And I'm going to show you this right now. So by starting to enhance this, you start to bring out more, get the actual depth to pop. And you can start to see this a little bit right here. You can start to see these things look like they're off the ground now. And you're going to see this area a whole lot better. This area. This one. This one. This to me was puzzling because it almost looks like it has half of a dome, if you will, over the top of it. Or is it possible, again, it's just one half of this crater wannabe, and it just happened to be blurry? Okay. And you've got what look like structures here, all the way down in here. You're going to see this more prominent right here. I mean, this is insane. Look at this. Doesn't look too clear right now because I haven't cleared it up. Now, let's back out. I'm going to make this really dark and try to pop this out a little bit better. And you're going to see this. This is going to get a whole lot better in a minute. But check this out. Right here, like I was showing you guys. Let me do this. Well, let's go into color mode. Just go into CMYK. And, okay. Right here. Whoops, my bad. Let's back out it just a hair bit now. We'll go this way so we can do a smaller step as opposed to a bigger step. Okay, so when you look at this right here, you can see what looks like almost like a crater, and then this piece is up, riding up and over this. Now, you'll see this a lot in a second. Now, let's jump to the next one, which is this one here. We'll blur it up a little bit, and you'll start to see this pretty clear now, where it actually looks like these things are riding up and over it. It doesn't make any sense, guys. And they want you to believe it's, again, why would something be transparent if it's a gorge or some kind of dug out part of this surface? It simply doesn't make sense. Okay, so again, I'm going to back out just a little bit, and I'm going to show you the areas in question, and that's right here. Now, let's go ahead and zoom back in. This one here, again, it just has this weird, and I'm going to lighten this up a whole lot better in a minute, guys, so don't worry about that. But check this out. It goes all the way around, seems to stop right there, and it looks like there's a shadow all inside here from this piece, going up and around and then back down and so on and so forth. You've got this piece here that looks like it's half, like almost got like a half a haze, if you will. Let me just back out just a hair bit. See how like it's not as clear or dark as that one? It looks like it's hazed over. Or is it a manipulation that they're doing, which is a possibility? Down here, like I said, it's got this weird, all of this mess here, but it looks like it's almost like it's half domed, if you will. And then it's got the rest of this crater, and there's a whole bunch of stuff inside here. Check this out. This is the area I was talking about. And now you're going to see what it looks like. There's layers, like this layer here. Something just directly underneath it. It looks like almost like a triangular shaped piece or something on the ground. Pieces underneath. It goes down more and more. Isn't this what we just found on one of Pluto's moons? It had like some depth to it and it looked like they were layered. It looks like there's some weird structure here. And it just, guys, you'll see this a whole lot better. Again, somebody was calling this, and I seen this not too long ago. They called them UFOs. They're not. They're actually connected to the surface of whatever this is. I believe these, I mean, how do we know that these aren't their transportation tubes or something? You know, people say, well, you know, maybe the cold, the heat, they can't survive on whatever moon or planet. Maybe that's their way of doing it. Because here's the weird thing. If you look at any of these said anomalies, they have something connecting them. Right here, coming right out of the center of it. And there's something right there on top. What the hell is that? It's almost like they need to be interconnected, or else they'd be either too cold, too hot, depending on which body you're looking at in our solar system. You just see like these weird, look at the way this thing is right here. Whatever this thing is, it looks like it's got multiple lighter things, but it has one, very faint, 3, 4, 5. It looks like a triangular shaped item. What the hell does that? I mean, this is all over the place, guys. This isn't one just little small area. This is loaded with this stuff. And you'll see that a little bit better in a moment. Now, let me change the way this thing looks. Let's go down a little bit lower, if you will. Stretch this out a bit, and let's just see what it looks like now. As you can see, these things look like... let me get the brush itself. You can see, like, right here, you can see what looks like something coming down. And this is all shaded right in here, like this is casting a shadow onto this ring. But now check this out. It's almost got this round area coming off, going down. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, look at this. Now it looks like this thing is up and over these other, and I call them structures. You're going to see that a little bit better in a moment. Again, this area is doing the same. It looks like a bunch of structures all inside here. And you've got this right here. And what looks like a friggin' dome going over the top of this thing. And then you've got the base of this said, well, they call it a crater. And you've got, again, you've got these pieces right here with something dark coming off the top. Look at these. Again, here. But they're multiple layered. And we're seeing this in quite a bit of areas now. Look at this. This is right over this, what do you call it? This, well, supposed crater. This one here. But yet this is going up and over. It can't be going under. It's arched. So it appears to be going up and over. And you see a lot of these little items. I'm calling them structures for a lack of a better word. Look at this. They have things coming and going from them. What the hell does that? Here's another one of those. Look at this. Crater, but yet it's over the top of this said crater. See that? See the way that's moving? This is like over the top of this one. Come on, guys. I mean, come on. When you go to the back of this, check this thing out. Almost like a baseball diamond, if you will. But check this out. It's got this weird, almost like egg-shaped item. There's something here, and there's a whole lot more things standing up. There's something with height standing up right here. Look at this. White, look like structures. Here, going up and then up like this. These are not gouges. These are not... Look at this. Are you kidding me? Look at this. Now I'm going to show you some more actual better photos. I'm going to back out of that just to give you guys an idea. Okay, now let's hop into this one here. Now, I did this in two different ways because I wanted to make sure what I was seeing was the right thing. Now, look at this lower left corner. That's all you need to do. The hell with the rest of the picture. Well, that and the other one on the top. But check this out. Look at these areas. Are you seriously kidding me? All of this. And you can see multiple things. These things are going up and over other objects. They're not gouges. They're not in the ground. Let's move up to this over here. Here's that weird looking egg-shaped piece. But check out, this is what's even more bizarre. Check out the way the ground is right next to it. Again, it looks like a home base, you know, kind of like a diamond shape in a baseball field. I mean, look at this. What the hell does that, guys? All right. Let's jump into this one right here. I'm going to put it in color mode with the yellow and blue filters. Now, check this out. Again, we're looking at this right here. It goes all the way around, but this shadow stops right here. And guess what? The way this thing comes down... Come on, this is bizarre to me. They just don't look like... Look at all of these things inside here. They don't look like a standard crater, if you will. Now, I don't know if you call it a standard crater, but the point is, here's those other round things. You can see tons of these. These little things right here, and I'm calling them structures. People can call them what you want. Call them Humpty Dumpty for all I care. Here. Here. They're all over the place, guys. These are not craters. These are literally, like they look like they got smooth surfaces. They're all over the place. Then you get some that are, again, almost like a diamond shape, like you'd find at home base. Well, kind of messed that one up a little bit. Right there. It's everywhere. Again, here's that funky looking thing I showed you earlier. What looked like it has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't make out if there's one here, but it kind of looks like there's one, but I couldn't really make that one out. Look, everywhere you look. How do these look like craters? Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at this a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and change the angle of this and have a better look. Okay, and then we're going to get into this a little bit lighter so you can see it a little bit better. Okay. Now, this alone, again, this area alone puzzles me. You can see a lot of features in here, guys, and I mean a lot of features. You can't look at it just a simple building on the ground. It's not. They're multi-level civilizations here. Look at this. Up, 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 up. Something underneath. And if you really look at this one right here, this said piece, check this out. You can literally see like things underneath that, like something's holding it up right there. You can see something doing this. Stop. Then you get this round piece. It looks like a little tower of some sort on a bigger piece. You see that? Yeah, this is definitely not. Look at this. Something coming out. Well, it looks like I don't know what you'd call that. But there's something right here and something round. You've got all of these things. They're multi-level. They're going from top and going deeper and deeper. Again, you've got this piece here. You've got these actually connecting to one another. There's one. You can just faintly see that one right there. I can't see the other if there's another one, but we'll see that in a minute. Look at it. Another one right here. I don't think these are gouges at all. I think this is part of a civilization and what connects all of these buildings together. Check this out. Here's a perfect example of one thing on top of the other. Perfect example. And you can see something that looks like it's square underneath with a darker area on top of it. And look at this. 1, 2. Something right here. Always have something dark on the top of it. Look at these. Multiple things sitting on the side of each other. Now, again, here's that egg-shaped thing. and you got something that's sticking up. It's pretty high off the ground. Couldn't tell you how big it is because there's no scaling of any sort. Check this out. Look at the way this ground is on this piece. And you've got these, I don't know, guys. Have a look at this thing yourself and just tell me what you think, because there's just no way this is just craters or gouges in the ground. I'm not buying it. Again, you've got this area here. This area right here. And it looks like, if you look at it from this angle, it looks like it has, like this is over the top, and this looks like it's underneath. Let's say it's not. Let's just say it's half and half, and these things just happen to be on the side of each other. That's fine, too. But whatever they are, they're really not these weird gouges, as they put it, or, chasms. But let me see something here. Let me have a look over here. Again, you can see these right here. And whatever these things are in here, they're actually pretty tall. As looks, there's these pieces underneath here, and they're all underneath or on the side of said things. But this looks like, this whole piece here almost looks like a dome of some sort, where this is actually covering all of this underneath. Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. That's what it appears to. Again, you see these weird little things with darker centers, and there's something running off of them all the time. It's like they're interconnecting. And you can see right here, look at the way this thing goes up, goes over, keeps going, and it says, yeah, they're transparent. How do we know these aren't like, I'm going to use the term roofs to filter out sunlight or something else that they're trying to avoid? Because look at this. Again, another one underneath here, and look at how dark this is, and there's that one of these little tubes or lines coming straight off the center of that. Do you see that? Check that out. Something under here. It's almost like these may be actual shields, if you will, to stop whatever's hitting the structures, to protect the structures. I don't know. Why is it, if they are transparent, you can clearly see there's things underneath these things. Again, right here, look at this, one underneath. See that? They're not on top. They're not gouged. These are actually structures, guys. Okay. Let's get to more black and white here, and then check into this a little deeper. See the way these things are laying out? Look at this. It's rectangular. Something dark right here. Kind of round, and something coming right off the center of it into another one. What the hell is it? Look at this one. Again, round, something at the top, and there's something right directly underneath it. These are stacked. See that? These are being stacked on top of each other. It's a multi-level civilization here. And like I said, some people want to believe, oh, there's no way. Well, okay, tell me what these are then. If these are considered chasms, they don't look like chasms to me. And again, here's this whole area. Just have a look in it. I mean, guys, look at this crap. Are you kidding me? You can just see these. And of course, these may be many things on top of here, but because we're seeing the resolution we're seeing, we're just not seeing the whole picture, if you will. And then you've got, like I said, you just got to look at this photo really good, and you'll see some crazy things in here. Again, you got this, looks like a tower of some sort, or coming down. Things underneath each other. Look at this. Yeah, I don't know, guys. This, to me, is just bizarre. And it's not what they say it is. I mean, you guys can call this stuff whatever you like. I don't, it really doesn't matter, because I think we can all agree that this is not simple craters of anything like that. And this goes even deeper in this, guys. You can go way up here and you can see stuff. I just didn't want to bring these out. It's not like I didn't want to. I just chose not to because I was more wanting to dig into this said chasms. But over here in the back, yeah, there's some crazy stuff in here, guys. Now, let's put a little filtering in it and brighten it up a little bit, and then we can go down to here. And again, this lower left corner, to me, this is crazy. Look at all of this stuff down in here, too. I mean, again, I pointed this one here out. There's one right behind it. You can see this goes like this. There's a separation. There's another one coming out like this. And then disappearing, meaning, let me do this. Okay. Right there in the back of this one, looks like it's rounded here in the corner and it goes down. I mean, come on, guys. Look at this. This actually looks like a tower of some sort. Look at square, then section, section, section. See that? See the way that thing is? It's like stacked. There, it's like there's multiple, like thousands upon thousands of structures all in one area. Now, let me see something. Let me darken this up. Well, let's do it this way. And again, I'll show you by the top of this. And we'll have a look at that. All this whole area. Again, these are multi-leveled. And you guys, of course, always give me your take on it. There's things underneath. Look at this. It's no surprise to me, and we do this here. We have, well, we don't have enough room in a city. What do? We build on top. Well, maybe they just did just the opposite. Maybe they built levels downward. I don't know. I mean, just because we do a certain thing a certain way doesn't mean they have to do a certain thing a certain way. So, yeah. Okay. I'm going to go up to this other piece here, where it looks like it has these weird pieces in this. I don't know. All right, let's lighten it up and give you a wider view. And then we'll just have one more look. And that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, look at this. Whatever these things are, this weird egg-shaped type thing, again, what the hell is it? Ah, it's crater. Yeah, okay. Whatever that is, standing right there. Of course, I botched that up big time, but that's not the point. You know, again, these have been edited, guys. You know that. I mean, come on. Look at this. Just have a look at these. In fact, I'm going to put these up on Google+. On my Google+ page. You guys can have a look at this yourselves. And you can see what looks like these things coming down. Coming down. And you can see, I mean, come on. There's things all up under here. There's multi-leveled, whatever these things are, they're multi-leveled. That's all there is to it. I seen this here and I was looking at this, I'm going, that looks like almost like another one, but that's too hard to tell. I was going to say it looked like this more like this egg-shaped thing, if you will. Okay, let's move along to this. Again, we've got this piece here going around, and it looks like it has pieces coming down. Multiple pieces. Again, you get these, well, they're transparent. But like I said, is it possible these are weird, like, I don't know about you guys, in some of these mall areas, when you go to these malls, they have these overhead glass, domed, or arched ceilings. Is it possible these are kind of the same thing to keep out certain things, like radiation or whatever? I don't know. Just because it may not be warm on this moon or whatever planet we look at, doesn't mean that they're not shielding themselves from radiation. Look at, again, I mean, just look at it all. I mean, they're all over the place. It looks like things are standing out. Things are all over the place. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm simply not buying this crap. And again, you've got people out there saying, well, there's no way. Why? Why is it everybody dismisses the idea that that could happen? If they lied about Mars, why wouldn't they lie about everything else? You know, maybe the life is a lot more abundant, both in our solar system and outside our solar system. Why is it so hard to understand or believe that? I believe it's absolutely true. We're seeing life, or at least structures, everywhere we look. I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually think that's the truth. And we're starting to see this more and more. Maybe it's a slow disclosure. We don't know. And they're just letting everybody see it. And they're using us, anybody who's doing these photos or videos, they're using it as a medium, if you will. And there's like I said, and that's their way of trying to bring it out and see how people react to it. So, yeah, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. Again, I don't like to use the term bases because, again, it says military installation to me. And I don't believe that these are military in any way, shape, or form. I believe that they're they're actually alien structures. When I say alien, I don't mean typically, that doesn't necessarily mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're little gray guys with the tear-shaped, bulging eyes sticking out. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It could mean anything. And if you really look into these photos, again, people have to start looking into them and doing their own homework. And of course, we already went over this video I just did, my rant video about people who like to claim that they know everything there is to know, but they don't look into these photos. And that's the problem. So they're quick to judge other people, and that's not right. And that's not something I'm going to stand for, because I'm true to my channel, and that's all there is to it. If you're not to your own subs or your own channel, that's your tough shit. I mean, that's all there is to it. That's all I got to say about that. But guys, have a look at this. And like I said, I'm going to put these on my Google Plus so you guys can have a look at these too. Usually I wait a couple days so everybody can get a feel for this first, and then they can actually download these pictures themselves, and you guys can analyze them. But I mean, look at this. Look at it. Like I said, they appear to be structures and multi-layered, if you will. They're not. Oh my God, this is just like everywhere you look, there's something in this photo. Now, not everything. I'm sure some of it is actually craters, of course. I'm not going to deny that, because not everything is something, meaning, intelligently made or what have you. But when you look at these things here, and you can just clearly see there's things and objects and whatever these things may be underneath. That right off the bat is a contradiction, because if NASA's stating that these are nothing more than chasms or gouges in the ground, what have you, call them what you will, these are not. So that's telling me they're lying right off the bat. And they're not telling the truth. Well, do we ever expect them to? But check this out. Look at this one here. You can clearly see this one's off the ground. And it's actually got a nice round front to it. See that? It's got a nice round front to it. Come on. Again, this one here now looks like it's not just a crater. It looks like it's off the ground as well. Yeah. But they clearly go up and over these other objects. Now, again, you guys can call them what you want. Tell me what you think they are. Here's another one I thought was pretty interesting. Right next to this area right here. Right next to this area, check this out. You can see what looks like another level, if you will, on top, and check this thing out. I mean, that's pretty good shapes for nature. If that's all this is nature, that's pretty darn good shapes. Now, you can't really make these things out, but I'm just showing you the spaces and the pieces that I'm seeing here. But check this out. Underneath. See that? Another one right here. It's got these blocks. See that? And a lot of times they will fool the eye. And look at another one coming off. And has this weird thing sticking out. And I'm pretty sure I circled that one earlier. But look at these things. Come on now. Look at everywhere. Come on. I just find this very awesome. This is just cool, man. This is, just look around. Again, I haven't done this area. I think I've done this one right here. This particular one. Comes up and is... And this piece is on here. Other pieces over it. They look like platforms or multi-leveled structures, whatever they may be. Now, again, people will argue, well, they can't be structures. They don't look like anything we have. That's why they call it alien. It's not what you think it is. This thing, if you've got an open mind to this stuff, it's a possibility. We don't know how they would build if there's an actual, if this photo's actual, meaning it's not completely made up. If that's true, just by looking at these, anybody with common sense can look at these photos and say, yeah, this looks multi-layered. This doesn't look like it's flat on the ground, or it's a gouge in the ground, if you will. If they are gouges, that's pretty funky looking gouges. That's all I can say about that. But let me see. I think there's another one I wanted to show. Let me go back to this one on the top, because I believe... No, that one ain't it. That is not it. Again, all over in here. So anyway, guys, give me your take on it. Tell me what you guys think. This is Dione, like I said, and to me, they're saying it's like these gouges. Do you believe that's also true? Or do you think, you know, more in the way what I'm saying, did you guys see anything different that I didn't see? I mean, you know, I'm going to go ahead and do this again. I'm going to back out. I'm going to let you guys see this, because I know a lot of you guys are on these tablets and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and do this first, and you can have a look at this whole area. And again, you guys can pause this. You guys know that. Look at this whole area and how the things are on top of each other. You've got to look at the shapes and how the shapes under these said ridges. What do they call them? Like shiny, icy ridges over like the side of craters. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Again, look at these little shapes inside here. And look at the way this thing goes across. Look at this. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to try to do this real carefully. See that? That, to me, is not natural. It's just not natural, guys. Look at the way this thing, it's almost like a cool-looking landscaping, if you will, all the way around this. I mean, tell me. Tell me what you guys think this stuff is. I mean, again, I'm going to go over this real quick because I haven't really gotten real close, and I want to show people. Again, look at the different structures, or I should say levels, if you will. Over the top of these. See that? So, I don't know. Again, this whole area right here, these look like structures to me. All in here. Have a look at it. Pause it. Do what you want. I mean, look at any part of this. It doesn't have to be any particular part. This whole area right here. The way everything looks like it's stacked, like this one here again. I don't know. This whole area right here. And, of course, on the bottom. Again, here. This whole left corner. Yeah, not happening. Do a little bit lighter version. We'll just blur it up just a hair so we can smooth out some of the lines here, and you can see these here. I'm going to move along. Again, this is just to help people with the smaller phones and the tablets. Go ahead and have a look at it. Pause it any way you like. Tell me what you think. I mean, that's what this channel's all about, guys, to be thought-provoking and have you guys say, hey, and get your take on it, because that's what it's really about, man. I want to hear what you guys got to think, because here's the thing. Am I right about every video I make? Absolutely not. At least I don't agree. I don't think I do. But I do. I think everybody will agree that what I'm seeing is not just simple landscape. It's not just simple craters. It's not simple what they call it, what NASA's saying, and what it really is two different things to me. And that alone should be a red flag for anybody. Again, you can see the way these things come off the side of this hillside, if you will. See that? I mean, going in every direction. And again, this is that other platform or area that's higher than the rest of down here. I mean, yeah. I mean, guys, give me your take on it. Tell me what you think. Again, I'm going to go down to the bottom here. And that's pretty much it. All right, guys. Again, I'm going to throw these up on there. Give me a couple days, because I usually like to have everybody look at the videos first and have them eyeball it and tell me what they think first. And then I go from there. And, yeah, I mean, and then I'll just post these and everybody can download them and do what you want and really eyeball the hell out of these things. But to me, when I look at this photo here, and I'm just going to give you the normal one, again, does it look like it's got any depth in it at all? Even if we zoom into it, it looks like it's pretty flat. And they say they're transparent. Well, I think there's a little bit more to this transparency than they're saying. They're definitely not being transparent about the truth, that's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, again, I'm going to use the term stock photo, just enhanced, meaning it's like an aerial satellite view. But, you know, a lot of times I've been telling people lately, too, because apparently they're not getting this. Understand, I mean, look at this whole area right here, guys. This is insane. I've just looked at this myself. The more you look at this thing, the crazier it gets, because check this whole area out right here. Again, and just look at some of the features in that. What? But a lot of people are thinking, well, you know, I hadn't thought about that. In fact, I had one of the subscribers, actually a couple of them, tell me, you know, I hadn't really thought about it. If they're lying about manipulations, throwing different colors, spot blurring, digitally taking out different parts of different photos, why wouldn't they change the size of them as well? To change a different angle so you cannot see these clearly. So by changing the angle, guess what? Suddenly now, things don't appear to be just 2D. And when you enhance it, think about it. If you were to change it into a 2D, meaning change the angle, basically they're just messing around with the pixels. But if they do that, and then they make it flat looking, you won't think otherwise. You just look at it, glance at it, and that's the end of it, and you're gone. And that's what they're hoping you'll do. Don't look into it. Just keep moving on, and that's the end of it. Well, I'm sorry. I can't do that. Not when I see this, and when I just by reading what they were saying was a contradiction. It makes me really want to go after these photos like a pit bull, and that's what I'm doing. So, anyway, guys, tell me what you guys think. Give me your take on it. I'm sorry I made this a little longer than I wanted to be, but I actually had 2 halves of this photo I had done because I had to go take care of something there, so I had to make 2 parts. I'm saying, I don't want to do that. I want to make it 1 part for these guys, so they don't have to go through 2 of them. They'll just go through the 1 and be done with it. But again, you know, so that's why I decided to redo this video. But give me your take on it. Let me know what you think, especially this is, come on. Look at the top one here. This is insane to me. This is just crazy stuff. Give me your take. Let me know what you think. Always appreciated. You guys know that. And that's what this channel's always been about. I love finding these things, bringing them to you guys, and you guys can tear them apart, because I know a lot of you guys are hardcore on this, and I appreciate that. Because sometimes, again, you guys will disagree with what I say. You know, like even my own subscribers post and say, Chris, I'm not really seeing it your way. I'm seeing it a little bit more differently this way. That's fine. That's what I want. I want people to see that. But to call it a rock when it clearly does not look like a rock or a crater, yeah, that's where I totally disagree. I mean, you could call it a little something different, meaning I'm not seeing it as a crater either. Then you concur. But what do you think it is if it's not a crater? What do you know? I enjoy hearing people's takes on it. That's all there is to it, man. But anyway, I got one coming up about our moon, particularly on one of the craters, and I had done this in a prior video, but it wasn't about really focusing on that particular crater itself. You guys will see what I'm talking about. That one's coming up pretty soon. Anyway, guys, stay tuned for that. Always appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.